Hello, hello. Welcome to another MSI Insider live stream. My name is Mike and I'm here together with...
Eric?
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay. It sounded very doubtful.
Yeah, well, you know.
Welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
So it's been 2 weeks. So as some of you may already know, we changed our schedule a bit. So also for the upcoming weeks, next week there won't be a stream, but in 2 weeks we will have a stream again.
Yeah, I think you can show the schedule to everybody.
Yes, let me...
So, you know, we don't have that many hardware launches, and we discussed internally in our team that we don't want to do too much gaming.
I wish I could, but my PowerPoint won't close again.
Up top?
Works great, right?
Okay, anyway, if you go to msi.com/2/insider.
Then you will see the page that I was trying to open.
Yeah, there is a schedule, an agenda, and you will see that next week we will not have a live stream. The week after we will have a live stream, and the week after that we don't plan any anyway. If there's any change in our schedule, we will update it over there. Microphone? My mic not working? What? Yeah, it's working.
Are you broken?
No, it's working.
Maybe you were out of the range, then your receiver.
Oh, maybe this is better. Ah.
Did you fix it?
No. I think I unplugged my...
You unplugged it?
You're super quiet, hey. Yeah.
Much better, right? Without there.
And now I'm super loud.
Maybe switch it off again or unplug it again.
They can request it in the chat. Anyway, what I was saying, go to msi.com/2/insider. Over there you will find our schedule for the coming weeks, and we will update it whenever needed. So you can always see when we're live and when not. It seems for the coming month or two we are 1 week off, 1 week we have a live stream, and then 1 week off, something like that. Okay, Mike.
My PowerPoint is very much broken, but maybe you can already introduce today's topic.
I really don't know. I'm just, you asked me to. No, today we're going, well, actually we have a bunch of topics. We have 2 new liquid coolers. I have one over here. Well, actually they're already installed. So we have the MAG CORELIQUID A13. And the A13 later you will see we have a 240 and a 360.
Hey,
this is a 360. Okay. And we have a black and white version.
Yes.
And then we have another one.
It's this one right here. And this is the MAG CORELIQUID A15 360. Also available 2 colors, 2 sizes, 240, 360.
You make it sound easy.
It is easy.
Yeah.
And those are the models that we have right now in front of us. So Eric's system is running the A13 model in white in this case on the Edge motherboard. So it's a very fancy looking combination.
I think
Eric.
I can show you that.
Yeah. And in front of me I have the A15 model, also the 360mm, but then in
we have
black.
so many buttons. What should I choose? Mobile?
Which one do you like most? Which button?
Yeah, like this. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one.
You may be wondering why we're not using a white graphics card, because today we will also compare 2 CPUs with each other, and we wanted to use the same type of graphics card. So we're running 2 RTX 5070 Ti graphics cards, and we'll do some comparing today with AMD's latest addition to their product lineup in the AM5 lineup, the 9950 X3D.
And that's on this system, right?
Yes, that's the one I have right here. So I'm running an X870E Carbon, Eric is running an X870E Edge motherboard, and I'm running a 9950 X3D CPU, and Eric is running the 9950X without 3D.
Why do I get the slow stuff?
It's not slow. In certain situations, mine is faster, but we will see that later. Maybe you can go to my PowerPoint that is working again, because then I can show you the new product lineup from AMD. Yeah, very sure. Yeah. And blue screen. So AMD added 2 new models to their product lineup. So they already had 1 model, X3D model in the 9000 series, which was a Ryzen 7 9800 X3D. Now they're adding 2 Ryzen 9 models, the 9900 X3D and the 9950 X3D. So those have more cores. They're also dual CCD CPUs. That means there are basically 2 chips on the CPU that have cores on them. So those are CCDs. For Ryzen 5 and 7 models, it's only a single one. For Ryzen 9 models, because they have more than 8 cores, they have 2 of those. So for the top end model...
That's a difference compared to the past, right?
No, it was also in the 7000 series,
okay.
was the same. what is a difference with the 7000 series? The 7000 series was also, if you had a Ryzen 9 X3D, only one of the CCDs was an X3D.
I was talking about that.
So one of the CCDs has 3D cache, the other one is a regular CCD. So one of the CCDs is, like for example on the 9950 X3D, one of the CCDs is the same as on your 9950X.
Yeah.
But the second CCD on mine has 3D cache, on yours does not. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
It was the same on the 7000 series, but in the 7000 series, the 3D V-Cache CCD had lower clock speeds than the regular CCD. In the 9000 series, this is not the case anymore. So
actually, there's already, I think, the third generation 3D cache.
Yeah, so they started in the 5000 series. Back then, only 8 cores, so the 5800 X3D, and later also the 5700 X3D.
So it improved over time because last generation, I think, overclockable was also had some was not that high, and now the clock speeds can go much higher.
It was a bit more sensitive to voltage as well. Yeah. So AMD had to be careful with their clock speeds a little bit, which also meant that, for example, when you had the 7800 X3D and the 7700X, which are both 8-core models, the 7700X was a bit faster in productivity workloads because it had higher clocks than the 7800 X3D. That is different in the 9000 series because now the X3D CCD has the same clock speeds as the regular CCD. This also means that productivity-wise, my CPU should now be just as fast as your CPU. Too bad.
So why do you have the bad one?
So I can laugh at you when we're running gaming benchmarks because then I will be faster.
Okay.
But yeah, in the 7000 series, basically that meant if you wanted to have the best productivity performance, the 7950X was better than
it was always a trade-off.
Yeah, of course the 7950 X3D was still a very good productivity CPU, but the 7950X was just a little bit faster because of the higher clock speeds on one of the CCDs. In the 9000 series, not the case anymore. So there is no trade-off anymore, which means that if you want the best of both worlds, then the 9950 X3D can offer both. Because, well, basically, later on we will test this, but it should perform the same productivity performance as the CPU you have, but the same gaming performance that we, for example, saw from
what
the
games are we going to benchmark?
Now we have several. We have Cyberpunk. We also have Monster Hunter Wild, Wilds, the benchmark installed. By the way, that's the one you can win, so make sure to sign up for the giveaway.
Good for me, right?
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
We also have Counter-Strike, of course, that is more of an esports title, so a bit more dependent on CPU performance rather than GPU performance. So we can do some comparisons. We also have Cinebench installed, so we can compare those two. How you
made yours better because you just still did a BIOS update before we went live.
Yeah, because I was still running a old BIOS.
Do like Mankit, do it during the stream. But you said no.
I quickly did it during the waiting screen. I'm very curious how it will behave now. Because basically this CPU arrived today from AMD. So Martijn, thank you again for sending out this CPU. There it is.
No, the packing.
The packing, and there is currently a CPU in there because this is the 9800 X3D that I took from this motherboard because it was on the motherboard.
So we by accident we sent the wrong CPU back.
Oops, send back the 8-core and keep the 16-core. I think if he's watching now, we'll know, so he will pay attention to what we're sending back. But the latest BIOS version for this motherboard had improved support for the 9950 X3D. So I was running a BIOS version from January, which was compatible with the 9800 X3D, but I just flashed the one from March, which is also optimized for the Ryzen 9 dual CCD X3D models. So this is an overview of the new AM5 lineup. As you can see, clock speeds are now the same between the 9950X and X3D. The rest of the specs is all the same apart from one thing, and that is, of course, the cache, which is bigger on the X3D model because you have that 3D V-Cache.
Have you done the test on MSI Godlike? No. Also, normally a mainboard doesn't have a lot of difference in benchmarks results unless you're going to overclock or underclock.
Correct.
Otherwise, you should expect about the same performance within the margin of error. Yeah.
Of course, there is one exception, and that is if you, for example, run a very high-end CPU on a very entry-level model. Yeah. So let's say you go for a top-end Ryzen 9 or
Yeah.
Core i9 CPU. You put it on the most entry-level chipset with more basic VRM that is not designed for such CPUs. Then, for example, there is
Throttling.
it can be thermal throttling, but sometimes more affordable boards can have certain power limits because the VRM is only capable of a certain power draw by the CPU.
Are there any wide 50, what is it, 8090s? My eyes, I have my contact lens in. 5090s, right, coming? I
thought it's about graphics card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're making some content for the new GPUs, I was making a list. We have so many models. Probably, but if it's not on our website yet, then maybe in the second wave. But so many models. Black, white, not blue.
So your request for more Project Zero motherboards for AMD?
Wait until Computex. Computex this year is...
And we're working on more Project Zero motherboards.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You will see more popping up.
I think on Computex this year is the 21st, I believe, or the 20th?
Yeah, of May already, right?
Middle of May.
Yeah, usually it's like early June.
Yeah.
It's more common, but now it's a little bit earlier in the year. So make sure to watch all the good stuff coming out during Computex.
Yeah. Okay.
Later on, we will do some benchmarks on this. We will compare them a bit so we can see, well, they should be similar in productivity, but are they really? We're going to find out, and we have some
Yes, we're going
benchmarks.
we're going to talk more in depth about both models, what the differences are, how
Yep.
they behave. So yeah, this is...
So I see the question, can you talk more in depth about the A15? Well, that's later.
Yeah,
But let's start with
first.
the A13 model. So that's the one in front of Eric right now.
Michiel, you need to drink. Vechtom 74 saying...
Will do, will do. I need to save a bit of water though, because I'm coughing a bit. So maybe maybe I still need some water for later in the stream. Okay, cheers, Vechtom.
I have some for you.
Good. So, as mentioned before, the A13 comes in two sizes, two colors, so basically 4 models. Black and white, and 240mm and 360mm. 240mm is of course with 2 fans, so 2 times 120mm. And the 360mm comes with 3 fans. Those are the ones that you currently see in the image. And that's also the one that Eric is currently using on his system. Yeah. Oh, that was twice. Here you see a bit of the design concept and of the initial drawings of this liquid cooler. Maybe you can show it from the top, Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's always nicer to see the actual product. This one has like a very minimalistic look and feel. I really like it.
Cannot access. Oh.
Eric casually breaking everything. So it is a very modest looking water block, I would say. But still has some nice RGB on it. The RGB is behind a cover. This cover you can also take off because based on the yeah, if you're careful then you can do it. Yes. Pull it towards you. It's not that hard. Oh, don't break it. Use your don't use your key. Don't do it, you'll scratch it.
This is how I do it at home.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Should I not do that?
No.
Oh.
Use your hands, because otherwise
Like
people
this?
will try that. Yeah.
And then?
you just pull it
Oh,
towards you. Yeah. So depending on the orientation you want to use, so maybe you have a case where you want to use it in a different orientation, you can just turn it. Also, for example, if you want to have the tubes on the other side, you just flip the cover 180 degrees and you can use it in a different direction.
Easy, even I can do it.
Even you can do it.
Without scratching.
Then it is very foolproof, right? So yeah, very minimalistic look and feel. In that way, it's definitely different from the A50, A15, because that one, in terms of looks, is a different story.
Is it refillable? Of reliable, refillable?
It is a closed loop liquid cooler.
I need to zoom the chat.
No need to refill it. It is already pre-filled with coolant.
Yeah.
Yeah, closed loop. So unlike, for example, a DIY system.
This is way better for my old eyes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you read it now?
Most of it.
So chat, just for your reference, we're now seeing 2 lines of chat because Eric made it very, very, very big. But yeah, closed loop liquid cooling also means that no maintenance is needed. You just install it and you don't have to do anything else. That's basically it. Yeah, let me know what you think of the way it looks. Because maybe this is not the most fancy looking one with all the bells and whistles that we have from certain other models. Some models have fans in the CPU block, screens in the CPU block. This one doesn't have anything of that. It's really a minimalistic look and feel.
No, Adam, this is not live.
That also
this
means
was
that the
yesterday.
price will be attractive, but more about that later. You still do get some nice RGB, and of course this is still fully controllable. So it has addressable RGB, you connect it to your motherboard through MSI Center software. You can completely control this. Being addressable RGB makes also that you can do all the cool rainbow effects, so not just specific colors.
Can you program like it's getting hot, that it becomes red, and it's getting cold?
I haven't tried. I'm not sure actually if that feature is in there. Could very well be.
What about, we talked a few months ago about this, I think Computex livestream, about the third-party RGB.
Signal RGB.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your motherboard is, because basically you connect it to the RGB
that.
header on your motherboard. So if your motherboard is supported by Signal RGB,
this USB.
Automatically you can, USB? It's not USB.
Oh, this is ARGB.
ARGB. So it's a 3-pin 5-volt connector, and you attach it to either a addressable RGB header or J-Rainbow header, depending on your motherboard. RGB lighting is both in the block and in the fans. So both of them are equipped with both addressable RGB. It also comes with a high efficiency pump. We've had several all-in-one liquid cooling models over the years. Sometimes the pump was in the radiator. In this case, it's in the CPU block. So let me go to this view so you can see a bit better what it looks like on the inside. So there's an exploded view of the block. So it comes with a water channel design to work with the high flow pump seamlessly. It can run up to 3,800 RPM, the pump, but it's still very quiet. I can barely hear your pump, Eric. Can you?
I hear the airco.
Yeah, I hear the airco more than the pump for sure. But yeah, very nice design, I think, and the pump being in the CPU block. What's also in the CPU block? The full copper base. This is a little bit difficult to show because it's currently installed, of course. But on the bottom of the block there is a large copper plate with being flat on one side, of course, where it goes on the CPU, but on the other side there are 0.1 millimeter thin micro channels. The reason why there are micro channels instead of just having a copper plate is because this increases the surface area from the base plate, the copper plate, to the liquid that flows through it. So basically by having those micro fins, it is easier to dissipate the heat from the base plate to the coolant, and that way move it to the radiator where it's cooled down again.
We have a question about this from Ismail.
Yeah. Ismail is asking, just a question, what is plate of the pump that contacts the CPU and why is it not copper?
Well, this copper.
It is copper, yeah. As for the radiator, why are there no higher end copper options for both materials? Do you mean the radiator itself, why it's not copper? Well, two reasons. One, copper is extremely expensive. Second, copper is extremely heavy. Well, there is actually a third one. It's also quite fragile. More fragile than, for example, aluminum is. Your radiator is something you can bump into something. These micro fins, they are well protected by the rest of the block, of course. Also at a certain point, like for example, the radiator itself is a very big surface area. So this one is 360 millimeter. So there is still plenty of space to dissipate the heat, even with the conductivity of, for example, aluminum.
Everything needs to be in balance, and this also comes back to the price.
Yeah.
Because you can add a lot of copper where it doesn't add much cooling benefit, still it will increase the price.
But also at a certain point, you're limited by the surface area of the CPU and the base plate, because that is still where you need to transfer the heat from the CPU to the cooler itself. So basically you can be far ahead with your radiator, but at a certain point, if you cannot dissipate the heat anymore from the CPU to the base plate, then at a certain point it's diminishing returns to make it copper, and you would still make it heavy, fragile, and extremely expensive.
I need to put this upside.
So yeah, for the base plate, it definitely makes sense, and it is a full copper one. For the radiator itself, that one is not made out of copper.
Should be fine.
GigaRAM says the copper radiators in my system are 120 pounds each, and I have 3 of them 480 millimeter custom water cooled. Yeah, that's extremely high end, of course.
Well,
but
it's future proof.
Well, still, you have to deal with the limitations of the size of the CPU. This, of course, depends, the block, but also the size of the CPU. So, for example, when you compare a mainstream CPU like AM5 to a high-end desktop platform, if you have a Threadripper, for example, the physical size of that CPU is much bigger. So it's also easier to dissipate that heat from the CPU to your cooling installation. So there is also a difference there. GigaRAM also mentions they're 120 pounds each. That's just for the radiator, so no pump or anything else or block included in that price. These liquid coolers are more affordable than 120 pounds, even the 360 millimeter models. Just to give you a bit of an indication of what it will mean to the price. I hope that explains it. This liquid cooler also comes with Easy Connect. Eric, maybe we can show this, because I think this is a very nice feature. In the past, when we had our all-in-one liquid coolers, you had multiple fans, and each of those fans had their own connectors. So you had 2 connectors for the fans. So the PWM connector, that's the...
Everybody sick?
Yeah, now they are for sure. So in the past, you had multiple connectors for each of the fans. So basically, you would have a PWM connector and an addressable RGB out of this one, out of that one, and out of that one. So that would mean for 3 fans, you would get 6 connectors. Now they are linked to each other. So here on the bottom, you can actually see that because there are connectors in between.
I'll do it like this.
So you see there is a wire leading to the next one, and there you see it is interconnected. And this means that at the very end, you will only get 2 wires out of the radiator section, basically. And this is how you connect all 3 fans on the radiator. So from that single cable, it splits in 2 cables, one being the PWM cable. So that's where basically what makes the fan spin, and the other one is the addressable RGB cable, and that's the one that takes care of the illumination of the fans. So this is the Easy Connect design, and of course this is all meant to make it look prettier inside your build, because you don't have as many cables
Easier cable management.
and easier cable management indeed. And especially the part behind the motherboard tray, if you don't have this, then usually you have limited number of addressable RGB headers. So then you would link all the fans to each other, and then you would get a whole
cable mess.
a whole spaghetti of cables behind your motherboard.
This is normally how you ask me to assemble a PC, right?
Yeah.
Let's do RGB.
And what you would then also get if Eric builds a PC, then he tries to pull another cable from somewhere, and then he disconnects these addressable RGB cables, and all of a sudden the light is gone for one of the fans.
Happened before.
Yeah. I really like this feature. I hope you like it as well. And we try to introduce this on more and more.
And this is also part of the Project Zero philosophy.
And also the easy DIY that we're also doing a lot on our motherboards nowadays. Just to make it easier to use and also a lot prettier.
Yeah, indeed.
The fans have also been upgraded compared to previous generations. So for this model, we use the Cycloblade 7 fan.
Psychoblade?
Cycloblade.
Psycho sounds better.
That's if you would design one. Then it's a Psychoblade.
The Cycloblade 7.
It doesn't sound like the most silent fan ever. It's a Cycloblade. So this is the Cycloblade 7.
7, is that the inch? The size?
That's a good question, actually. I think it is the number
Where's your banana?
Blades. No, I know it has more blades than 7. It's a very good question where 7 comes from.
Where is the banana?
I ate the banana.
Oh my
I was
God.
hungry.
I saw it here.
Yeah, that was half an hour ago. And then I got hungry and then the banana was gone. So no banana for scale today.
Okay.
That one's in my stomach. But this fan, how it is mostly different compared to previous generations is that the fan blades, they are connected to each other. So basically there is like a circle around it. You also see that on many of our graphics cards nowadays. Maybe you can show it with your close-up camera here.
What?
So you can show it on the graphics card in front of you because it also uses the interconnected fan blades. And then if you're very brave, then you can stick your finger in the fan of the radiator. Yeah, this one is safe. Now boot up a game. So, so here you also see that the fan blades are connected. This is also the case on the fans on the radiator.
Ooh.
Yes. So at the very side, you see that they are connected. Reason for this fan design is the higher static pressure. High static pressure, basically, you have several measurements of airflow for a fan. So you have how much air it can move. That is, for example, imported for case fans. So that's basically how much fresh air it blows into your case. But static pressure means how much it pushes the air through something. And this is important if you're going to position your fan onto something. So it can be a heatsink, but it can also be a radiator. Because if you have a higher static pressure, it will be more capable of pushing the airflow through, in this case, the fins.
We have a smoke machine.
Yeah, somewhere. But then you should also look up the protectors for the smoke detectors.
We could show this live.
Yeah, not in this stream, because you definitely need the protectors, otherwise the fire department will be in front of the building. But we do have those as well.
What if you talk and I go search this thingy?
It will take you ages.
Yeah, do you think so?
I think so, yeah. Because I think we also have multiple of these here. And the last time we did this was still the other room where we only had one.
Okay.
But this is an interesting one for the future.
No. What future? You talk, or should I?
Okay, Eric is gonna look for a smoke machine. It may be a little bit short live stream today because at a certain part the fire department will run in. Hey Eric.
Yeah.
You broke my PowerPoint.
Oh, that's the only thing?
Yeah. Can I get back my slide? I think, weren't you running into static electricity? Hello, slide. Yeah, there we are again. Okay, so Eric is looking for stuff he will not find. These fans, of course, also support addressable RGB. That's for all models, no matter the white one, the black one, or the radiator size. Nooblitz is asking, is chat working? No, chat is broken.
Yeah.
That's why I can see your message. Action Brother is asking, is it also more quiet? Yes, this fan design, it's a combination. So we always try to seek a balance. Of course, you can make a fan even more powerful by making it spin extremely fast, but it will also make it louder. So we also try to seek a perfect balance between noise levels and performance. So yeah, indeed, this fan design should achieve best of both worlds, basically. Inside the fan, of course, you have the fan bearings. In this case, there is a rifle bearing in there. Here you see the exploded view of where you will find the bearing inside the fan. And this one reduces friction and extending the fan lifespan. So say if you want to run it for extended periods of time, you can use this for years in a row. This should still hold up very well. Then thermal dissipation, of course, a lot also comes down to the radiator. We already talked a little bit about materials, but radiator design is also a very important thing. In this liquid cooler, it has a very high, what we call FPI, and that means fins per inch. And basically by having this density, you increase the surface area again, and that also helps you with more efficient heat dissipation. Uh-oh, Eric found something. Do you also have the cap?
No. That's maybe the problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. Oh no, it's not a problem, it's a challenge, Eric.
Then probably...
If you hold your hands around the smoke detector very tightly,
I'm sure they will not appreciate it.
Then it may work out. The thickness of the radiator is still 27 millimeters, so that's the same as in previous generations, but the fin density is higher, which still gives you improved performance with the same thickness of radiator. Of course, it is always possible to increase the thickness as well, but that of course would have an influence on the compatibility. So if you want to be able to use it in a more compact case, a thicker radiator is more difficult to fit in there, because you can struggle a bit with your other components inside that case. Last but not least, evaporation-proof tubing. So this is basically the type of tubing from the radiator to the CPU block. It is a closed system, so this type of tubing, it's very strong, it is very leak-proof, and it also has it is nylon braided around it, also for additional protection. So if you accidentally hit something while building your PC, for example a sharp heatsink or whatever, it is still well protected, so you don't accidentally run into leaks there. Of course, don't try to attack it with scissors or a knife or whatever. You can still break it, but with normal usage and normal building process, it should be perfectly fine. With the nylon braided evaporation proof tubing on this liquid cooler. So Eric, have you found it?
No.
No? So no smoke demonstration?
Well, you know, we're in the business of taking risks, right? I think nobody will appreciate that, but...
Oh, Nigerian has a very good comment. He says, you guys know there's a saying, right? Every machine is a smoke machine if you operate it wrong enough.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I found a smoke machine, but
it's been a long time since we used it. Maybe I should go to the different camera view then.
Well, we're going to test the blades later, so maybe I do the preparation, you talk.
Okay. This was it for the A13, so let's then go to the pricing information. As I mentioned before, 4 different models. So the A13-240. If there is no color mentioned, then it's the black version. The other one is the MAG CORELIQUID A13-240 white. So if it is white, you can see it in the product name. Both of those come with 2 120mm fans, and both are priced the same at $79 US or 69 euros. So this is a suggested retail price. Please keep in mind that this can differ per region, because resellers can define their own prices. Also, you have VAT differences. The US dollar price, for example, excludes VAT. The euro price includes 20% VAT, but in certain regions VAT can be higher or lower, so that will have an influence on the price as well. So these are definitely more affordable liquid coolers. Of course, no screens on this like you have in our higher end models. But if you just want a nice looking product, good cooling performance, then this could be a very suitable model. Is that sound normal coming out of our smoke machine?
It's heating.
It may produce a different type of smoke, not the one that you wanted to.
It's green, so it's hot enough.
Okay.
The problem what we have now still is a smoke alarm.
Yeah, the smoke, you will 100% activate this.
Yeah, so I think I need to block that.
Yeah, there are special caps for this.
Yeah, but
You couldn't find it?
No. They're always there, and I think we have to leave it, and now I don't see them.
Shall I have a look while you do a giveaway?
Yeah, we're going to do a giveaway.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise insurance will not be happy,
I will
and
take my mic
facility
off
of the building.
Yeah, you will end up in a fight if you activate that smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Be right back. I will have a look.
Yeah, that's the same reason we're here in our office building. So sometimes we would like to do LN2 overclocking on the live stream. Not allowed because of insurance. Also the smoke machine, we don't want to trigger the fire alarm because then a lot of people are going to run outside. I already see them outside near the fence in the cold without jacket. And we're having fun here. Anyway, I was going to do a giveaway, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Let me see. So, we're going to give away a Monster Hunter. What is it? Monster Hunter what?
Wild.
What?
Wild.
Wild. So, yeah, to be honest, Mike and I, we don't like this game. So, but he remembers at least the name of the game. I'm going to be here. Yeah, Oh, welds. Okay, yeah. Well, the benchmark was awesome. It looks great. Doesn't mean we like this game. But a lot of people like it. Anyway, draw winners. I don't know how many we have. I'm just going to draw one to start with. Mike, you know how many we have for today?
I believe 4.
Okay, okay. Ooh, it smells. So, first winner is Easy, I think you pronounce it like that, Easy Potato. Easy Potato, congrats. And this smoke machine I can show you. It's an old one. I'm not sure why we have it. Mobile. So, it's heating up. There's some liquid inside. It probably burns that. And when the button is green, you can push it. So now it's green. I can push it, but I better don't do. And then out of the front, I don't know what the warning signs. Is it something we should take care? Nah. Hot. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Also hot. Yeah, okay. No problem there. So we go back to the PPT, I believe. Not sure where Mike is. We just continue. Okay. Now I'm here. Next one. Let me see. This button. Oh, yes, mouse. Okay. Next one. We're going to talk about the CORELIQUID A15 series. So it looks different. Not sure which one you think is the better looking one. So I will show this one as well. Ow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Static. So this one has a different look and feel, as you can see. I will show you the other one. Personally, I like this one better. But this one has more features. So this one is the black one, the 360. We also have a 240 in black and white. So 4 models for this one. Also no luck, Mike, right?
No clue what it is.
Yeah, then we better don't do this. So let us know in the chat which one you like better, the A13 or the A15.
What is your preference, Eric?
The 13.
The 13.
Yeah. Let me go back to the picture.
As a whole, or?
Oh, your PowerPoint is switched off. Maybe.
What did we do?
Well, I
You touched
felt a
something?
shock. Yeah, I touched something. Yeah.
Why does it always go wrong when you touch
Yeah.
something?
I don't know.
Let me replug it. Yeah, for some reason our capture card is a bit sensitive to static electricity.
Oh, go back to the. Should we say? Should we tell everybody that we're on a carpet? That it is not helping. Okay, I'm going to open back.
Just
the
some
chat.
additional ESD testing during our live stream.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I tape it. The smoke alarm.
I don't think that's going to work.
Actually, you know, it's not a smoke alarm. I think it's like a light which detects like a disturbance in the air. So it's not really that it smells smoke or something. It's not chemical. It's just like if it sees.
Tomorrow he's fired.
If
I'll
we,
say goodbye to Eric. It's his
if
last
he-
day at MSI.
if we cut this part from the stream, nobody will ever know, right?
That's true.
Nobody watching. At least not in our company.
The chat has to be quiet as well.
Okay. Hey, we continue. Mike?
Yes. So the A15, a lot more rugged design basically. It looks like a bit kind of like it has armor around it. I'm personally, in terms of design, I'm more of the A13 one. But still, if you want like a more robust looking design, this can be a very nice option as well. In terms of cooling performance, it is slightly more powerful than the A13 as well. That's also why in numbers this one is a little bit higher. Here you see more of the design concept and the initial drawing. So you can see some of the elements that we also have in our MAG logo, of course being an MAG
So
segment product.
Adam is asking, will you guys make an all-in-one with an LCD screen to play videos? Yeah, we already have. But
there will be more.
Yeah, and there will be newer models, but
Yeah.
today we're talking about these two
Yep.
more mainstream entry-level models.
Actually, during CES earlier this year, early January, we also did a live stream about this. We introduced a new model that also has a screen. Later this year, when it comes out, we will also do a dedicated live stream with this model to show you all the ins and outs of that model. That is an MPG product, so a little bit higher in terms of segmentation, also having a few more features than what you would find on MAG models. Of course, it will also be a bit more expensive compared to the MAG model. This one has even more focus on easy DIY. So here you see an overview of the different easy DIY features you will find on the A15. First is the uni bracket. Let's maybe show that. That's the easiest with your camera.
No.
Because this one comes with a bracket pre-installed on the CPU block.
So first I will show the one which does not have that bracket.
Yeah. So this one comes with a specific Intel mount for on the block and a specific AMD mount.
Yeah.
Now you see the AMD mount installed, of course. This has the uni bracket. So basically there is one mount installed on the CPU block itself by default. And this bracket you can use for both Intel and AMD. Right now, of course, it's screwed into an AMD socket. But you can also see the holes next to it. That is compatible with Intel, LGA 1700 and LGA 1851. So that is the uni bracket you will find on.
Which is more easy to use because you only have one bracket.
Yeah, so you don't basically have to prepare your CPU block for either Intel or AMD.
And the bracket's pre-installed, I assume.
Yeah. So this is on there out of the box.
Well, not on your main board, but
on the liquid cooler. Yeah. If you run an Intel socket, it comes with a backplate in the box. Right now we're running it on an AMD system. Basically, it uses the default AM5 backplate. So if you have an AM5 motherboard, you always have these two plastic pieces. If you screw those out, you can immediately screw this one on. So there are basically 4 screws come included. You screw that into the existing backplate, and then with 4 screws on top, you can install the block on it. So it's extremely easy to install, especially on AMD.
Toste Bayer on Facebook has a question. How would you describe the performance difference between the A15 360 versus the i360?
I would say the A15 would be relatively similar to the I series, and the A13 would be relatively similar to the E series. So the I and the A15 are slightly more powerful than the E and the E13. But usually it is very small differences. So the bigger difference you will find is between the size of the radiator, so going for either a 240 or a 360. That is where you will see a bigger change. So an A13 360 will be more powerful than an A15 240 millimeter one. But yeah, the A15 is the slightly more powerful model of these two.
So McKellen says, I prefer 2 brackets.
Yeah, it is a matter of personal preference because, of course, having the uni bracket also means that you always have a somewhat bigger bracket because you have the holes for both Intel and AMD, whereas on the A13 you have specific brackets for either Intel or AMD. So one is easier to use, the other one can indeed be prettier. I think I completely agree with that statement.
Yeah.
So let us know in chat what you prefer. So these are basically 2 different flavors that we offer on 2 different liquid coolers. But yeah, we're curious to hear what you think is more important, aesthetics or ease of use. This one also comes with, here, easy bracket. Here you can see the screw holes, by the way. So you see the orange ones, those are the AMD ones that we currently have it installed on, and the blue ones are the Intel ones. So yeah, it is a bit bulkier than what you would find on a specific one. It also comes with the Easy Connect, so this is the same as we talked about before on the A13. So basically the fans again are interconnected and you get one set of cables out of the radiator. But the A15 comes with one additional feature that the A13 doesn't have, and that is Easy Con design, and this uses the JAF connectors. So JAF is a new header that we have on our newer motherboards. Some boards have JAF 1, some boards have JAF 2. For this specific model, it doesn't matter. So maybe we can grab your camera and we can show you how we plugged this liquid cooler into our motherboard. Because both the PWM signal and addressable RGB signal of the fans is now connected through a single header on the motherboard, and that one is located right there. So this on this board, and this is the MPG X870E Carbon Wi-Fi. This one has a JF2 header. A JF2 header.
Can I zoom?
No, but you can hold it closer.
Oh, I can zoom.
Oh, it does work. Yeah. As you can see, there are some pins unused on the right. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And that is because it's a JF2 header. If you have a JF1 header, then it will only be basically the plug and you don't have the 4 pins on the right. So the JF1 header combines a PWM signal, so that's what makes the fan spin basically, and it has the addressable RGB.
I think it's switching camera, it's not really zooming.
It uses a different camera on your phone.
I would assume so.
JF2 adds a USB signal to that. So, for example, if you want to use a higher end liquid cooler that maybe also has an LCD screen on the block, then you could still do it off of a single cable if you have the JF2 one, because it also has the USB.
What do you think? If I push this button, would then like just a small psst, and that's it?
No.
And if I let loose of it, it will stop? Or do you think it will just burst?
It will just continue until the fire alarm goes off.
Because this green LED is eyeing me.
It's teasing you.
You smell it?
I thought it was you, but it's
the chemicals.
I wouldn't do it.
I like
it's
the
probably
name.
not a good idea.
Beams. The Beams S500.
But yeah, this is the EasyCon design. If you want to use this, of course, you need to have a motherboard that also supports either JF1 or JF2. For this specific model, it is PWM and RGB, so a JF1 header would already be fine to use this liquid cooler. If you want to use a future model that has an LCD screen as well, then it will be worth it to go for a motherboard with a JF2 header that includes the USB signal as well. But this makes it very easy to connect this liquid cooler to your motherboard, because for the radiator part you only need this single header.
You see the cap over there? What if I tape the cap upside down to the ceiling?
You see there are holes in that cap, right?
Yeah, okay, that's...
a good point, right?
Yeah, pretty good point. Okay, I will find something else to block the fire alarm. We only have one, right? Yeah.
Are you sure? I'm not sure if there's one more around the corner. Maybe double check. On this motherboard, liquid cooler, you also see how it is connected. So the cables are also hidden out of sight. So they're not on the side anymore like we had, for example, on our i-series still, where we actually, that one came with a bracket to hide them. Here it is hidden in the design. So it's out of sight when you install it into your case. Then in terms of performance, so it comes with high efficiency pump, again full plane and screwless copper base, so completely full copper base plate like we also saw on the A13. It also comes with an offset kit that improves performance by adjusting the height of the...
we will show that in the next slides.
I think there is a separate slide about it. Oh. Metal backplate, that is specifically for the Intel socket. So for AMD, you use the one that is already on the back of every AM5 motherboard.
Psycho Blade 9.
So there is a difference here because the other was 7.
That's why I asked
that we
size.
have to look into because I don't know what the difference between those two is. That's a very good one. And again, high thermal dissipation and evaporation-proof tubing, like we also have on the other models.
No.
What?
High thermal dissipation. It's capitals. You need to shout.
Evaporation-proof tubing.
Yeah.
But it's only a Cycloblade 9 fan.
Yeah. Why did you put this in capitals?
No,
okay.
I didn't.
What the hell?
Pump in this model is also in the CPU block. So in terms of design, it is similar like the A13. So not in the radiator like some of our previous model, but in the CPU block. People sometimes ask what is better in the CPU block or in the radiator. Doesn't really matter that much. It's a different type of design.
Is this also helping to cool the VRM?
No.
We had a model which had
but that
right?
one had a fan in there. This is specifically the pump.
Oh, it's only the pump, not a fan. Okay,
no.
yeah.
So it's really the pump. The block itself is closed. But some of our higher end models, indeed, they do have a fan, and that will help to cool the VRM.
Yeah.
That is not the case.
Will blow the air over the
Exactly.
VRM and also blow the heat away.
Yeah, but this is just the pump in here. There is a difference in the sense of how you would position your liquid cooler inside your case. So usually you want to avoid having your pump as the highest point of your loop, because that also means that if you have any bubbles, they will be in your pump. Basically, that also means that if you mount if a certain part of your radiator is mounted higher than the CPU block, then you should be good. And that is usually the case if you have it on your CPU block. Do you still get it? Oh, you're still eyeing the
Yeah, I'm still eyeing to block the smoke detector.
So this is kind of similar to the A13, big copper plate with 0.1 millimeter micro fins on the other side in the CPU block. As you can also see, no screw holes in the copper-based design. So certain models that our competitors use, but also that we had in previous generation, they had the screw holes inside there, of course, that reduces the surface area of the copper plate and ultimately also heat dissipation. What I also thought is a bit annoying when you have these screws in the copper base plate is that if you use cooling paste, usually it'll get stuck, the old cooling paste, in the screw holes. So that can also be a bit annoying with the copper base design with screw holes in there. So this model comes with an adjustable offset performance kit, and this is specifically for Intel, and that is because the hotspot on an Intel CPU is slightly different than what you would find on an AMD CPU. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's good that the viewers cannot see this. Stuff is getting dangerous. Okay, it may not be the fire department, it may be an ambulance that's coming soon. Eric is trying to attack the smoke detector with an MSI cap. Maybe you want to show it first in front of the camera. What you're trying to tape around.
Okay.
Smoke detector.
It's just, okay. So, I'm just thinking. I have a cap.
It's cool cap.
Cool cap.
Yeah. With holes in it, so not blocking all the smoke.
This is, good, making the holes
is
go
that
away.
invisible because it's green?
It's green. And then I have tape. I put the tape around it. And somehow it's, stuck against the ceiling.
You know MacGyver, right?
Yeah. So, and if this works, Mike, we can continue our demo. The problem is this gaming chair is more...
I hope there is no sprinkler installation in this room because that would be a waste of this hardware.
No, there isn't.
Eversy Eagle says in chat it may work.
Yeah.
Very convincing,
this
right?
will work. This will work.
So yeah, what the offset kit does, it basically adjusts how your block is positioned onto your CPU so that the hotspot of the CPU is more centered. And this can reduce the temperature up to 4.8 degrees Celsius. By the way, I just noticed, maybe I should plug in a notebook before we have no PowerPoint at all anymore. There we go. Hey, that killed capture. Who would have expected that? Let me replug it. There we go. 3, 2, 1. We're back. Here you see an example of a Core Ultra 5 using this offset kit, and you see the different temperatures in different positions. So, all going according to plan, guys. No worries. So if you put it in position 2, you will see a temperature of 82.9 degrees Celsius, in the standard position 81.1, and in position 1, 80 degrees Celsius. So it can make a bit of a difference how you position it onto your CPU. This can also differ per exact CPU because the hotspot is not the same for all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, very good idea, Eric. Here you see the Cycloblade 9. I think I do see a difference, but Eric, you can compare this when you're back.
Yeah.
Because I think the Cycloblade 9 has more fan blades than the 7, but I need your fingers to stick them in the fan to stop them, so you can check.
It's a good start, right?
Yeah, well, that won't work. Wait, shall I hand over your camera so you can show the viewers what you're actually doing? Okay, you hold this. Okay, guys. Eric thinks this will actually work.
No, it's not finished yet.
To block the smoke
It's not finished
out
yet.
of the fire alarm.
I'm too short.
Oh, Eversea Eagle has some good advice. Don't record the crime.
Oh, switch.
Okay.
Fast.
No one saw that. No one saw that.
Don't record.
And it looks completely smoke-proof, right?
Not fireproof.
Well, what are you setting on fire then?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
Also like the E13 series, high fin density on the radiator of this model as well. So it has an FPI, so fins per inch, of 20. And the thickness of the radiator again is 27 millimeters. And also like the A13 series, you get evaporation proof tubing on the A15 series as well, with a nylon braided outside of the tube. Then going to prices. Actually, this model is not much more expensive. It is a little bit more expensive than the A13, but for the 240 millimeter models, both the black and the white one, it'll set you back $89 or 79 euros. And for the 360 millimeter models, both the black and the white model, the suggested retail price is $109 or 99 euros. So again, this is a suggested price. Retailers can define their own pricing, but this is approximately what you can expect.
So
in
Mike,
terms
this
of
is not
pricing.
easy.
No, I can see that it's not easy.
What if I do this?
You may activate it soon by what you're doing to the ceiling. Oh my god. So now you're actually trying to put something around it where the smoke can just go through?
Yeah.
That's a very good idea.
But it's not easy.
Okay, while Eric is struggling, I'm going to do another giveaway.
Yeah, struggling, that's right.
So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider, or if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can also follow the direct link that our bot puts in the chat.
I'm too
once
short.
Every 5 minutes. And then I will draw our second winner for today.
I'm too short, Mike.
So your plan has failed.
Well, I mean...
And our next winner for a game code of Monster Hunter Wilds is Oliver13. Congratulations, you also won a game code. So please keep an eye out on your mailbox, then we'll email the code to you in the coming days with some instructions on how to redeem it. Congrats again. Eric.
Yeah.
Or do you still want to do smoke stuff, or do you want to do some benchmarks?
That can be combined.
Benchmarks while setting the fire alarm. Oh.
I'm disappointed. I need to grow. I need to become taller.
Did you eat all your vegetables when you were younger? Okay. You will actually activate this because this is a lot of smoke.
I'm going to.
This guy. Yeah. You may want to protect it with something.
Mike, you continue with the stream. Don't.
Okay, you continue protecting the fire alarm.
Don't push that button again. It's not a good idea.
No, now you agree that it's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're giving away several copies of Monster Hunter
You
Wilds.
breathe in deep to inhale all the smoke,
Yeah.
to hide the proof.
I was already choking without this thing, but this doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, I hope it's not like a silent fire alarm.
In case you don't win in today's giveaway, we also have a bundle promotion running. So if you go to our website, it's actually very easy to find.
I think that's it.
If you go to what's new on top right there, if you open it up, you see promotions, and you see here the Monster Hunter
What a
Wilds
smell.
game bundle. And this is a promotion that we currently have running with selected power supplies. So here you see the different models. This can differ per region, by the way. On this page you can also select your specific region. But some of our newer PCIe 5 compatible power supplies are included in this giveaway. And basically, if you buy one of those selected CPUs, you can get a free copy of Monster Hunter Wilds. So the invoice period, so that's basically the period in which you need to buy the product, is between the 27th of February, so it already started, until the 28th of March. Redemption period is then between the 14th and the 25th of April. So make sure to redeem it within that period. You always have to wait for 14 days before you can redeem it. I think that has to do with your being able to return the product within 14 days. And then you can activate the game basically as soon as you have it.
So somebody
on the market.
Somebody YouTube has a right. He says Psycho Blade 7 has 7 fan blades and Psycho Blade 9 has 9 fan blades.
Yeah, is it?
Okay.
Did you count them?
They're running.
Yeah, you have your finger to stop that, right?
Okay. Yeah, but static electricity. Okay, I will. Yes.
You can do it.
Woo. Too many to count. Okay. We start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah, for sure. 9.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
So probably 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Who was
That
it? JH1013. Thank you. MacGyver.
So right now this is the UK website, so again this can differ per region, but for example in the United Kingdom these power supplies are included, so that's the MEG AI 1600T PCIe 5, the MPG A1250 GS PCIe 5 and the 1000 watts model of that same the same product lineup, and yeah, you can get a free copy for it. Make sure to stick to those dates.
What we should do with the smoke machine is run it, blow it through the blades, because then we can see this.
And then it will poof even closer to the.
Well, we can point it towards you.
First,
and,
protect that thing.
No. Okay. What if Peter is quite tall, right? What if we put Peter over there?
I thought people became wiser when they got older. But you skipped that part, right?
Peter's not that old.
You were talking about Peter.
Yeah. So we put Peter over there blocking the smoke detector. Then I will turn this around. Of course, I'm going to push this button. And you are going to inhale all the smoke to hide the evidence.
Good idea. And do you think Peter wants to be held responsible for your idea?
We will just say maintenance something.
Yeah, that was it for the game bundle with the power supply. On our website, we also have a very nice blog post. So,
are we going to run the Monster Hunter benchmark?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, we will do that.
Can already start it?
Not yet. We will do that.
Oh,
we will
okay.
Do that.
We is you, or what?
No, we is us, because
then
you have your
I can
system,
start, right?
And we can do them side by side.
I have a slower system. I need to click.
It will take time to keep up. Here you see some recommendations on different settings with different cards. So there's a lot of testing information in here. It's a kind also what you can expect when you change certain settings. So it's basically like an optimization guide of Monster Hunter Wilds.
Adam, if you want to join the giveaway, you can go to msi.com/2/insider. On Twitch and YouTube, we are running a bot who's dropping the Gleam link.
Yeah. So as you can see, there is a lot of data in this, also a lot of testing information. If you want to find this, you also go on top, what's new, then blog articles, and here you will find it. If you want to optimize your game, we talked about the landing page before. We can also quickly show it. So this is msi.com/2/insider.
Or maybe also show the giveaway.
Yeah, the giveaway is there.
Hey, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. I was a bit behind. Oh, wait. Wait. I need to press.
Where am I?
There we go. Here, we can wave to ourselves.
Hey,
hello.
Where am I?
Oh, this is MSI Insiderception.
Don't do this.
It's pretty cool. So here you can, of course, see our live stream. Here you can participate in the giveaway.
That's the giveaway if you want to participate.
Yeah, but here you can also see our schedule. So as you can see here, next week, no live stream. The week after, we will talk about our new smart monitor. And the week after, 2nd of April, no live stream. So if you want to be updated on what's happening when, make sure to keep an eye on this page. Eric, time for some benchmarks?
Yeah, which one first?
Let's maybe first have a look at what's inside our systems, what we're actually using. You can switch to a different one because I closed my notebook. There we go.
Okay, which one?
And I'm going to make some space.
First this one?
Yeah, we can show your system first.
Oh, my system.
Yeah.
That's this one. Okay.
Why do you have an MEG background?
I don't
Are
know.
you running an MPG motherboard?
Mm.
I think Rich stole the SSD from an MEG motherboard.
Lazy. What do you want me to show?
What's in there? So just open HW info and put it on the summary mode, not the sensors only mode.
Oh.
This is the sensors only
How
mode.
do we do that?
You-
Normally
you,
it pops
you
up,
open
right?
it and then you have it. Oh wait, we updated it. Did I change it?
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
here we
yeah,
go.
yeah. Summary only.
And then you see an overview of what's in your system. So as you can see, you're running an AMD Ryzen 9 9950X, so not the X3D, no 3D cache on this one. You're running it on the MPG X870E Edge TI Wi-Fi motherboard. You're running 32 gigabytes of RAM at DDR5 7200.
7200 is not mentioned. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you can also see the clock.
Yeah.
And
Times.
it's DDR, double data rate,
Yeah.
so you multiply that by 2, and then you have the frequency 7200. And it's running at a CL38, so that's a cache latency. That's the first number there. Yeah. The graphics card you're using is an RTX 5070 Ti, in this case the Gaming Trio. And then you're running an M480 SSD, 1 terabyte, and running Windows 11 as an operating
M480, oh here.
Yeah. Then we can have a look at my system. So I will point out the differences between our systems. So I'm running an 9950 X3D. While our motherboards are not identical, but they're relatively similar. I'm running a Carbon instead, but also based on the X870E chipset. We're running the same memory kit, also with the same setting. So again, DDR5 7200 CL38. I wouldn't say this is the ideal memory kit for this setup. I would personally advise for AMD systems like this, go for like...
At least it's comparable.
Yeah, we needed 2 identical kits, and this one we had. But usually you want to have it in line with your Infinity Fabric frequency. So it would usually be better to run, for example, DDR5 6000 at a cache latency as low as you can get. Nowadays, I think it goes down to CL26.
Did you see the comment from Action Brother?
Action Marauder, a quick reminder, it is important to make sure the power settings in Windows are set to balanced and not high performance to make optimal use of X3D CC. Yeah, there are actually multiple things for a Ryzen 9 that you should do. Because if you're running it by default, it is not always clear to Windows what should be run on which core or on which CCD rather in this situation. So then it may run games in the wrong CCD and you're not actually using the 3D cache. So it's also important to install the latest AMD chipset driver, to have Game Bar enabled in Windows in order to properly use the X3D CCD in the correct applications. But that's indeed a very good point. You can also check out the process on the AMD website. They explain what you should do, which steps you should take in order to get the best performance. This is specifically something for the Ryzen 9, by the way, because those are dual CCD.
So, some differences. I'm having the 57 Ti Gaming Trio, and you have the 57 Ti Vanguard, and besides that, you have a Seagate FireCuda SSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But both of those
Gen
should
4.
perform in gaming, should perform similarly. So yeah, the main difference being, of course, the CPU, yours without 3D cache.
Is this
mine with
the
3D.
FireCuda you needed to send back to HU?
No.
The one we didn't find?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't need to send it. This is one that came
You
from-
remember the 9 SSDs for Henry?
No, those were different ones. Those were
Okay.
older ones. That was 520. I actually sent all of those back.
Okay.
I had 7 of those indeed that I put in RAID 0. But those were still older generations. Yeah, let's maybe run some Cinebench first to see productivity.
Sure. Side by side?
Yeah, we can do that.
Do we have side by sides here?
Okay, I'm gonna open HW info again, but then set it to sensors only mode. And we can also see some temperatures and some power draw. And then let's open Cinebench. It's version R23, and we will run the multi-threaded benchmark. Okay. Let's first run it once to see what kind of
Which one?
scores we get. The multi-core.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a countdown.
Yeah? Me?
Yeah.
5, 3, 2, 1. You were faster.
Was I?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a 3D rendering benchmark, and this is basically.
I'm showing the result stuff.
Okay, you may influence the score with this.
Oh no! Start over again. What?
You could have shown that after, but we can do another run for you.
Okay,
See,
it's
you
not
are
that.
slightly low. Okay.
Yeah.
You can do the count again.
Okay. 5, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, going well.
Yeah, I also had the idea it didn't start.
Yeah, but it did.
Yeah.
So this is a 3D rendering benchmark, and this is basically fully loading the CPU. Pure productivity, also scales very well with multiple cores. And this is something where in the previous generation, in the 9000 series, the X3D was slightly slower at the non-X3D because of the lower frequency of one of the CCDs.
Now you're faster.
And now I'm actually slightly faster. It is within margin of error a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't get the performance penalty in productivity anymore with the new X3D Ryzen 9s. So a 9950 X3D in productivity is not slower anymore than the regular X model, like it was in the previous generation. So yeah, I think you don't have to do a concession anymore. So that's very nice. If you want to do productivity and gaming, then basically a Ryzen 9 X3D would be the way to go. So let's have a look at your power draw. What kind of spikes are you seeing, and how are your temperatures? So here you clearly see the two runs.
So a peak of 200 watts.
So that's also identical, and this is also a difference with the 7000 series, because in the 7000 series, the X3D.
Maybe I need to put it a little bit to the
X3D CPUs were slightly more efficient because they were clocked lower. Their power consumption was also a bit lower. Now they're clocked identical, and they also consume.
Yeah.
Basically
so and the highest
so
temperature was like, let's say 80 degrees.
Yeah. So my temperatures are a bit lower than that, but I'm using the more powerful liquid cooler as well.
Okay, yeah, could be. And then what is this on top?
You have two
temp.
CCDs.
Oh yeah. So it's the same. Yeah, indeed, 80. Okay. And idle 33 watt. U42.
I'm a little bit higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is that difference coming from?
Good question. I know that for AMD, usually Expo or XMP does quite a lot, but we're currently both running that.
Mm-hmm.
So good question where it comes from. It could be just that the idle consumption of the X3D part is slightly higher. I'm not 100% sure. This came in today, so
we didn't have time to test.
Testing.
Yeah, normally we let Ruud play around with these CPUs for a week, and
but
then
indeed, the idle power consumption
all the
of yours
details.
seems to be slightly lower. But what is quite common with AMD CPUs, from my experience, when you switch off Expo or XMP, you do see idle power consumption drop quite a bit. But at the expense of performance.
Can you please put a microphone near the fan when you benchmark? Yeah, I think so. Or will you do that?
We can do them one by one.
Okay. Well, not easy, but it should be like this. Okay. So.
Don't stick it in the fan.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make this an honest compare.
Okay.
Okay. Is this honest, Mike? Look at this. Look at my setup.
Oh, it's almost in the fan.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Maybe show how you mounted it. Because you're.
Yeah.
But isn't it already creating noise now because of the.
Yeah, probably.
The turbulence there. Okay, that's how the microphone is currently mounted.
Hello?
And now start Cinebench again.
But my camera's not working.
Why's your camera not working? What did you break?
No, nothing. Hey, but my camera is not working. Can you maybe go to the other PC?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, I have the right scene, mobile.
Can you reconnect?
Oh yeah. Reload maybe?
Yeah.
Join with camera. Start.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah. Okay. So what I did, I put my microphone here with the clip. Like this.
So as you can see, it's very close to the fan.
It's very close. So, and now I'm going to push leasehold this. Oh, sorry, I leasehold this. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I'm going to do this different. This is more. This is making me win. Ah, damn, Mike, you're just cheating. You put it flat on my desk, and then you're saying...
I didn't put it flat on your desk.
Yours is a bit slower. Come on.
You mean that you knocked it over?
Yeah, okay. How to do this? Okay, then we're just going to do like this. Okay, I need to... Oh, you hold it. Yeah, okay, another run.
Keep in mind that the microphone is now right next to the fan, so of course it will sound loud.
Live from the wind tunnel.
It's currently benchmark. It's actually not spinning up that much so far. Now you hear it spinning up a bit. Of course it's under full load of all the 16 cores.
My score went up. Not that much, but it went up. Okay, so that's this one.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is loud because it's... one moment, let me put this in a similar... Yeah, Mike. So this is a normal noise?
For us it's not that loud, by the way, but of course we don't have our ear right next to it. It's now running Cinebench.
This one is much quieter. For me.
But it also takes a bit before the fans spin up.
Now it starts spinning. But it's also finished. Now it's finished.
But yeah, I would say the A15 is slightly quieter than the A13.
In this test.
In this test, yeah.
We go to the side by side, right? Yeah, so everybody deaf right now?
Yeah, because basically it's like holding the fan right next to your ear where you have the microphone right next to it.
Not good advertising. It's noisy as all. Was hell, maybe?
Well, your ears were basically inside the fan.
Yeah.
But I can tell you from, because I'm at like, what is it, 80 centimeters
yeah.
distance, and I can slightly hear it spin up during Cinebench, but of course that's under full load of the CPU. It matters a lot what you're actually doing with your CPU, how much noise it will make, of course. If you're running a render test like 3D rendering, that will, well, basically, like we saw before, it's constantly consuming 200 watts. So, of course, the fans need to ramp up a bit to properly cool it. If you do gaming, power consumption will be a lot lower, and it will also be a lot quieter.
Yeah. And don't forget, these are 16-core CPUs.
Yeah. So that also means if you're using a CPU with a lower power consumption, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 5.
Yeah, my score increased.
It will usually be a bit quieter. Yeah.
I will leave my radiator like this.
Still, my score is still slightly higher than yours.
Yes.
What excuse do you have for it?
You're towards the airco.
Oh, that's...
Maybe? I don't know.
No, it does make sense. My cooler is slightly more powerful, the A15 over the A13.
Yeah.
But usually, in terms of productivity, at least we can see that the X3D CPU is not weaker anymore than the regular X. I think that's a good step from AMD. Interesting to see.
Game benchmark?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Which one?
Which one do you want?
Today is, I think, National Plant a Flower Day. Are you going to do that tonight?
I had no clue it was National Plant a Flower Day.
It tells me here.
But now I'm definitely gonna plant a flower.
Not a Dutch flower, right?
No.
No. Okay, good. Okay, which game?
I don't know which one. Maybe cactus. So we could start with something that depends very much on the CPU, like Counter-Strike 2.
Counter-Strike 2.
Very much an esports title. So Counter-Strike 2 doesn't have...
do we need to shoot and aim, or do we have a benchmark?
No. The game itself doesn't have a benchmark, but we actually have a workshop item from the Steam Workshop. That is basically benchmark.
Hey, look, the logo's aligned.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's see how they stack up to each
You
other.
tell me where I load.
Let's first have a look at the settings and see if you're on 60 Hertz. That doesn't really matter because you can still
I'm
run
at 60,
whatever
1080p.
many frames you want. I will switch to 60 as well. It doesn't matter because it will still run more frames than 60, of course. We won't be able to see them, but again, we're capturing at 60 Hertz, so it doesn't matter at all. I see I shouldn't have changed it. There we go. So we're at full HD resolution.
Same here.
Yeah, the reason why we do that is that you properly measure the speed of the CPU. If you go at a higher resolution, Counter-Strike, you won't run into that issue that soon, but especially if it's a more demanding game, then you make it very GPU intensive, and then you're, well, measuring the GPU performance rather than the CPU performance. You're also at full screen mode, good.
Yeah.
Go to advanced video.
Advanced video.
Is everything the same? I think so.
G-Sync
high
enabled, all at high, the presets.
You have,
Disabled the lowest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks the same, quality. Oh,
Okay.
here, ambient occlusion, you have medium? Oh, yeah, same.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think these are the default settings.
Okay.
Okay. Then you can go to play in top and go to workshop maps. I'm quickly gonna move my
Go to workshop maps.
overlay to
okay.
the other side.
And then I can already click it, or should I wait?
Or is my hotkey not working?
Alt, shift,
Yeah, that's
something,
what I'm using.
something, 1.
Usually, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's usually
Yeah? Oh.
but it
maybe.
won't move. Okay, then we have to switch from one to the other, but that's okay. So select this one, and then you
Go.
can. Oh, that was a bit quicker than I was, but that's okay.
But it shows, well, okay, yeah.
This will run basically a predefined benchmark within Counter-Strike 2.
2, 1. Yeah, I'm 3 seconds faster.
Yeah. And at the end, we can see the average frame rate. So we can see which CPU is essentially faster in any esports titles in this case.
I should put it to the different sides. Not you. What is it? Shift, Control,
you should
Alt?
put it, yeah.
Which one?
Control Shift, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like this.
Ah, nice, good. But your hotkeys do work.
Yeah?
Interesting.
Mine has more compute power left, so it has time to do those things.
So now you can see both of our frame rates. As you can see, my frame rates are a bit higher. Of course, I'm benefiting from the 3D cache on the 9950 X3D. Still, your frame rates are very acceptable,
Yeah.
but definitely higher on the X3D. Alan says different CPU, different scores. If you had 20 X3D, each would score differently. Yeah, no single CPU is the same. But yeah, they should also all perform within margin of error. So it can also, if you run it twice, that one time one is faster, other time the other is faster. Of course, AMD produces these with certain tolerances, but they're quite tight, so they should all perform relatively similarly. But you can always have a golden sample, for example, that overclocks really well, undervolts really well, and overall performs really well. Okay. I think this should show your average frame rate. Maybe you can draw your console. Yeah. There, then they should be able to see it. What is your average frame rate?
Average frame rate, wow, so much data. Total frame, average all frames.
No, higher, higher.
Oh
there,
yeah, on
to
top.
left. No,
Summary frames.
no, lower. Yeah, that line. In the middle.
Average frame,
Yeah.
415.3.
Yeah, I have 537.7.
Okay.
So that's quite a bit of a difference, and that's
Yeah.
specifically X3D being the difference between our CPUs. Of course, this is relatively lightweight, running it in 1080p. We did still run high settings. Usually, if you make the settings lower, it will become more CPU dependent, so that's usually when you see the bigger differences between CPUs. If you make something very GPU dependent, then you will see that the differences become smaller because we're both using a 5070 Ti.
I'm going to give away, Mike.
Okay. Make sure to participate if you haven't done so yet. msi.com/2/insider.
Or YouTube, Twitch, you can click on the Gleam link, and the next winner is, this is not zoomed, Enhas.
And as congratulations, you also won a game code for Monster Hunter Wilds. So keep an eye on your mailbox. We'll email the code to you in the coming days with some instructions on how to redeem it. Okay, so this was Counter-Strike. Quite a bit of a difference between X3D and the regular X. Shall we make it a bit more intensive with maybe Cyberpunk?
Yeah, sure. If I can stop this
Maybe we can
game.
run Cyberpunk in a few different settings to see in which setting you see a bigger difference between using
Quit.
a 3D cache CPU. Hey, that's interesting. I have two Cyberpunks.
Cyberpunk. Uninstall Cyberpunk. I think it's this one. What was the name? Good question. Let me check again. NHAS.
Yep.
NHAS. Congrats. What are you going to do, Mike?
What's my Cyberpunk number? I have two. Maybe I should start this one instead.
Why you have to?
I don't know.
How do I see if
I had two shortcuts.
Okay. Play? Just load Cyberpunk?
You already have it open, right?
No, this is the loader.
No, in the... Oh, that's a loader.
Yeah. So play.
Yeah.
Nowadays it has a benchmark, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a benchmark in that. Nowadays, it has that for a long time.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. I forget about the past.
You even played this game,
things.
right?
Then it didn't have benchmark.
Okay. Then you played it very, very early because
I
think
played
got
it
quite
very
soon.
early, yeah.
We have to make sure that our settings are the same. So let's see. First, I'm gonna set it to defaults. Shall we start at 1080p and then move towards higher resolutions and make it more GPU intensive?
I'm a video 1080p, full screen.
Yeah.
Reflex off.
Yeah.
VSync off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is all the
yeah.
same. Apply.
That's yeah.
And then graphics.
Yeah, that's a custom for this one. So
Okay,
just
let's,
select the profile.
Let's just start at low settings.
Low
'cause we're currently
settings.
running,
Then I have AMD FX.
resolution scaling off.
Yeah.
So just rasterization.
Yeah. Texture quality low.
Frame generation off.
Yeah,
Texture quality
same.
low. Yeah. Field of view is
Low.
80.
I think the rest should be the same. We're looking at each other's screen.
Yeah.
4, medium, low, low. Yeah.
Okay.
Low, low, the
Apply.
bottom two. Yeah. Apply.
And then on your left you have run benchmark.
Run benchmark.
And then a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, but this also depends on SSD speed a little bit.
Oh, my,
Still needs to load.
And my hotkey is working again.
Oh, it's working again.
Yeah.
Okay. So loading screen has the same FPS.
So now we are running a relatively low resolution, 1080p, and also low settings. So that is usually the type of setting where you make it more CPU intensive and where you will see a bigger difference between a faster and a slower CPU, or also, for example, a CPU with or without 3D cache. Later on, we will increase the resolution and we will use harder settings, or higher settings, I should say. And then they should come closer to each other, because you will make it more GPU intensive. So here you can see there is still quite a bit of difference between these two CPUs.
Yeah.
The only difference between these two being 3D cache. Other than that, they're identical. Frequencies, identical. TDP, identical. It's specifically that 3D cache difference.
Your TDP is a bit higher. Is that? Oh, that's for GPU.
No, it's consumption.
Oh, total system.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it is CPU consumption.
Oh, CPU. Yeah.
Yeah. But we also saw that my idle consumption was also a bit higher.
Yeah. So I have 204 frames per second and you 257.
That's quite a big difference.
25%?
Yeah.
Around that.
Yeah.
Okay, and the settings are the same.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Then let's make it a little bit more intense. Let's go back to settings. Shall we move to 1440p? Okay. Apply.
That's it? Just
No, and then the graphics settings. Let's
Okay.
also increase that a little bit. So we can do a quick preset. Let's add some ray tracing maybe.
quick presets.
Ray tracing medium.
medium. Okay.
Let's quickly check if everything is identical now.
Transformer model, yeah, that's the same DLSS super resolution. Let me see. Yeah, that's
All
all
good.
the same. All to the right, all high, ultra.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then just click run benchmarks. There is no save button.
No.
3.
Oh, you first need to click that one.
No. 3, 2, 1, go. You're faster.
I'm always faster.
I was still thinking, should I go -1?
-2, -3.
I'm always faster.
So now let's see what the difference is now. So now running 1440p ray tracing medium. So it should be quite a bit more demanding than the previous setting that we had.
But the gap should be closer.
Yeah, because we're slowly
Yeah, you
making
see
it
that?
more GPU intensive.
This round is
rather than
around
CPU.
100 and yours 110, so it's
Yeah.
only 10% difference.
But still, you can still see the difference.
Yeah.
My power consumption still a little bit higher. I'm at 136 watts. You're a little over 120 watts.
Is our YouTube chat broken?
Could be.
Shall I refresh?
Yeah, you can.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like around 10 to 15%
Yeah,
difference,
yeah.
whereas we had
It's more
25
indeed.
in the previous one. So you do see that they slowly creep towards each other. My frame times are also a little bit better than on your
Okay, so
system.
99.56 and you 116, so that's indeed like 17 to 18%.
Yeah.
That's bigger than I
Still
thought.
also bigger than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we make it more intensive?
Yeah. Resolution?
Let's make it a 4K resolution.
Can I do that?
So Ultra HD 30. Yep, you can.
Okay. Apply.
And let's go all out and preset ray
Overdrive.
tracing. Yeah, overdrive.
Yeah.
Rest should
Check
all
the
be the
rest
same
off,
again.
right. Yes.
Yeah,
High
same preset.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah, rest all the same.
Ultra.
Run benchmark. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
You should have a click bot. You know, the ones prove that you're.
Oh, by the way, we should make our overlay a little bit bigger because of the 4K resolution.
Which one?
It's the
Shift control and then?
and then 3.
3.
Yours is hidden behind. If you make it bigger, then
No, this is the biggest it
okay.
gets.
Quickly remove the logo.
Okay.
No, you can just in the below. Yeah. Oh yeah, that also works. Okay.
Okay, this is like a 10% difference.
Yeah. Or even
Less?
sometimes even less.
Yeah.
So now it's becoming increasingly.
Frame time also double digit.
Yeah. It's becoming increasingly GPU intensive now. My frame rate is still a bit more consistent than yours. You have a little bit more drops.
I can see that.
But the frame rate difference became smaller.
Yeah. So 46.71.
50.47.
That's still, yeah, that's like.
But we're at less than 10%.
Yeah, 8 point something
approximately.
percent.
So we saw 25 in the beginning when it's very CPU intensive, to less than 8 when it's very GPU intensive. And this is always something to keep in mind. If you are running a lot of AAA titles with ray tracing enabled on an Ultra HD screen, you will benefit less from an X3D CPU than when you, like esports titles, play on an extremely high refresh rate screen running low settings, 1080p.
High refresh rate stream, like also 1080p.
1080p,
with,
low settings.
Yeah, 500 refresh rate or something.
Yeah, then you will really benefit from having 3D V cache. Whereas if you make it very hard on your GPU,
you always benefit. It just, the benefit gets smaller.
Gets smaller, yeah.
And this also, I mean, now we're.
So it may not be worth it to invest extra because.
Well, we're now showing Cyberpunk, but there's of course differs per game title.
That's very true. That's
different
very
per
true.
engine actually.
But usually, I would say if you run a lot with ray tracing and very high resolutions, then it may be worth it to invest that extra money in your GPU rather than your CPU. Yeah. If you're more of a competitive gamer.
That's what Nvidia likes to hear.
Yeah.
And maybe AMD as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're an esports gamer and you run relatively lightweight games without ray tracing, lower resolution, then you may want to invest more in your CPU rather than your GPU.
If your mic.
Yeah, I would. For me, it's more worth it to invest in a CPU.
I would
than a GPU.
go for the GPU.
Yeah.
I like the graphics.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this is very dependent on what kind of gamer you are, because we're already very different in this.
Yeah.
Do we want to run the Monster Hunter benchmark?
Yeah, sure.
To close the stream off for today.
Yeah.
And then we can pick our last winner after that for our last game.
Clean up some smoke.
Did the fire department already arrive or no?
No.
Oh, no. So far so good?
You better don't go there.
Yeah.
I don't
you were living on the edge because even a small touch was quite a lot of smoke.
I don't want to have that conversation with...
It scared you, right, when you saw how much smoke?
I don't want to have that talk with HR. You are responsible.
Not just HR. I think you should fear for facility management.
Yeah. You know you're not allowed to do this. We told you many times.
HR is the least of your problems.
I have a crash something. Oh, something.
What did you crash?
Nah.
Okay. That's actually quite a cool thing. Monster Hunter Wilds has a benchmark that you can download on Steam. You don't need to have the actual game for this. So even if you don't have Monster Hunter Wilds, and if you're just curious to see can my PC properly run this, just go to Steam, download the benchmark. You will find it on the game page on Steam, and then you can just check it out how it performs. I think that's quite nice. More games should
saying do a 4K benchmark max settings.
Oh, we can do some different ones. Maybe we can do something 1080p low and then move to 4K high. My overlay is also very big.
Which one is it again? Control Shift?
Control Shift and F4 to make it smaller.
Yeah. 4 smaller.
Okay. Let's go for English.
English. Enable frame generation.
No, I'm gonna keep it disabled for now.
Well, I want to see turn frame generation off. I want to see the settings. Or it's already.
No, I think we can still go to the settings menu. Okay.
So I have the ID. Mine crashed. Or not?
Well, I'm in the menu. You're not, so you could be right.
No.
Something's happening.
Okay, there we are. Oh, yeah, it's crashed.
The game.
The game crashed. Cancel.
Okay. Let's try it again.
Let me see where did I put it. Benchmark.
In their defense, the game just came out. Maybe they still need some patches.
This is a benchmark. It's already for 1 month or longer. Maybe 2 already.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see my settings. So I haven't changed anything so far. I believe there is no full screen option, so I stick with borderless window.
English. No, we set close.
1080p.
It crashed when I choose no frame generation.
You didn't like it? You wanted frame
I
generation?
want frame gen. Where can I just press a key and then I go to the settings, or?
Yeah, just if you press a key, go to the menu and then options. Yeah, on top the little screen.
Okay. 1080p.
Yeah.
Automatic.
Borderless window.
Yeah. Borderless window. Same. Yeah. Disable. Okay.
Okay. And then.
What is this?
Yeah. There are your
This one.
settings.
Okay.
Let's set those to. Let's go lowest first, so we make it a bit easy first, and then later on.
Confirm.
I need to hold it. Hey, where did it go to?
No, just select it and let's go. Push one time F, and then go back.
Okay,
then
now it says lowest.
Yeah.
Is the rest all the same for you?
Lowest, low, medium. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then we go escape, I think,
Yeah.
and to benchmark. 1, 2, 3. What, Mike?
You were too slow. You snooze, you lose.
Come on. I hope we can click one more time. No, it started already.
No, it started. I'm already far ahead.
I hope your ship will crash in the desert. Wow, that's a huge difference.
No, but you're now looking at the total score, right?
Oh,
but
yeah,
still,
yeah,
but
yeah,
still,
yeah.
even in the
Yeah, it's like 80% difference.
So this seems to benefit, at least in low settings. It
You
benefits a
thought I
lot.
was looking at the yellow number.
Yeah, that's what I thought first.
Yeah,
But it's actually a
I
big
also
difference,
was.
Yeah. So again, low settings, your CPU matters
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. But let's wait until it's finished.
And you're already running a fast CPU, but 3D V cache matters a lot
Yeah.
in this situation.
I think AMD also bundles this game with CPU or GPU, not sure.
Oh, I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
they
It
also
could
have
be,
a bundle
yeah.
with this. Or they had. I think it's still active. 2 months long, which is like March and April maybe, or maybe February, March.
So if you get our power supply, if you get an AMD CPU, and if you win in today's giveaway, you have 3 codes for Monster Hunter
Wow.
Wilds.
You can even make friends and give 2 away.
This is quite a long benchmark, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I think it does multiple scenes as well. So let's not go for the medium setting, but we will go immediately all out in the.
But
in the max.
the quality difference is also big because if this is lower settings.
Yeah, okay, this is
yeah.
not the prettiest.
No.
I mean, you can see that this is in low settings.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, that's why I think this kind of game you should play with like ray tracing on and the biggest.
I would still disable it.
Yeah. You're
I like my frames.
okay.
Frames win games, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it NVIDIA slogan?
So 99 versus 1. So here in this environment, it's only 30% difference. Bit
Which
more,
is still
35.
Quite a lot, I would say.
Yeah.
Because in Counter-Strike, which is
So
a real esports style, it was only 25% in the 1080. But yeah, this is an ideal situation for a 3D V cache CPU. Ismail is asking, would the CPU perform similar if the settings with ray tracing are maxed out? Later on we will do this. We will run it in the highest resolution we can.
maybe
with
not
ray
similar,
tracing
but
enabled.
close.
Closer, yes. In most situations, I would say the 3D V cache one would still be slightly faster. But you make it a lot more CPU or GPU dependent rather than CPU dependent. So yes, they would perform a lot more similar than what you see now. Like we also saw in Cyberpunk with the different settings. So 1080p low settings was a bigger difference than 1440p medium, and that was a bigger difference than
I think the
Ultra
biggest
HD
difference will be
high.
the image quality. If you look at this, man, I don't want to say it's counting pixels, but
Because the actual render resolution is now probably even lower at 1080p, because I think the lowest setting automatically enabled DLSS as well. So the render resolution may just be 720p, upscaled to 1080p.
Yeah.
Of course, making it less GPU dependent again.
Also, you see the shadows?
Yeah.
Like pixelated?
Yeah, they're a bit like the shadows we had 20 years ago in video games.
No soft shadows?
The one thing I do like about this game is that you get a cat.
One on the back? Or?
Yeah. But also, I remember I haven't played this specific Monster Hunter yet, but in the first one...
Are you going to?
No.
Yeah.
But the other one that we played, you could design your own cat, so you can make it look like your own cat. That's cool.
It's a long benchmark.
It is a very long benchmark. A lot of different scenes.
But that's maybe also good, because it shows really like the different environments of the game, so you have a good average.
That's true, that's true.
Like I know Assassin's
Sometimes
Creed always
just a very
shows in the
specific
city,
scene, yeah.
which maybe is worst case scenario, because you have to draw a lot of
It
buildings.
is worst case scenario, but it's not where you will be the whole game. Yeah.
Oh, you see that? Oh, when he was walking through the tunnel, it was just like, showing the mountain transparent.
Oh, see-through mountain.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, now they are going to eat with the bread. That also looks really nice.
By the way, this is quite an intense game if this resolution already gives us these kind of frame rates. That's going to be interesting with a 4K resolution. And then we're even using quite a fast graphics card. I wanted to use 5090s, but we didn't have to, unfortunately. Yeah. The food also looks less tasty in lower settings.
Yeah. Well, the cat is enjoying it.
Yeah. Look at the cat now. Very happy cat. Okay. Mine says excellent. Oh, yours does too.
Yeah.
But I see, yeah, that's a big difference. 153. That is a very big. This is a bigger difference than I expected.
Yeah, it is 55% or something, even more maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
big
Return to the title screen.
Yes. And now let's crank it all up to make it as difficult on the system as we can.
Options.
Okay, options. Hey.
I don't have 4K.
Me neither. I think I know a solution.
You're going to switch it off and
no, I'm going to switch to 4K in Windows first.
Okay. Hello. Yes. Press. Quit.
And then I'm going to reboot the benchmark. Because it may only go up to 1080p because we were in 1080p in Windows.
Yeah, some games tend to do that.
Oh, now of course the overlay is very tiny. So we have to make that a little bit bigger.
Well, in the end it will show.
I'm going to switch frame generation off again. So no.
English, English.
I'm going to make this
no,
as big as I can.
Close.
Yeah, now it automatically goes to Ultra HD resolution for me.
Options, okay.
Okay, borderless windows, same.
Yeah.
Then settings.
Ultra.
Ultra, yeah.
NVIDIA DLSS.
Let's disable that. So no upscaling. Oh, oops. Let me see if the rest. Hey, can I have Ultra back? Oh, so Ultra automatically, okay. So Ultra and then disable.
Yeah, I have that. So FXAA plus CAA of highest Ancio, highest, yeah, it's the same, and there are more pages, but yeah, we assume it's the same because we did the same action.
Yeah.
Okay, save. Okay, I go back to the option screen just to double check.
Make your overlay a bit bigger. Yeah, that's good.
It's the biggest I can do.
Yeah, that's the same size as mine. Okay, are you ready?
3, 1. You look surprised.
Who taught you how to count in primary school?
Okay, do the same test after this with the DLSS on. It will only get faster. Okay, so I have 57, you have 56. So actually it's the same.
Yeah, we're now
More or less
much
the
closer.
same.
Much closer. Because now we made it more GPU intensive.
Yeah. So the CPU still has work to do, but it's waiting mostly for the GPU to finish its frame.
Strange enough, in this game, I cannot see the power draw from your CPU somehow. For me it works, and you can actually see that the power draw of my CPU is also relatively low, much lower than what we saw in previous batches.
Yeah, 190 something watt.
Yeah, it's around 100 watts now. It's just basically chilling.
I switched off the software.
Oh, then yeah, that explains.
Yeah.
You need HW info running in the background to have it work. But basically the power draw is a lot lower because the system is rendering fewer frames.
And the visuals are so much nicer. The detail, the textures, the lighting, the cat, your cat, yeah.
Video Mayo says mozzarella benchmark. But still, the frame rate is actually still quite acceptable, I would say. I expected it to be lower with these kind of settings.
Yeah, that's correct. Because we didn't switch on DLSS.
No. No frame generation, no DLSS.
But it's a 57 Ti.
But that's still pretty fast card.
Yeah.
But maybe if you would go, of course, Ultra HD resolution, 5080, 5090 would be more logical.
So this was more heavy, more intense?
Yeah, I'm also below 50.
No, below 40. No, not below. Yeah, now below 40. Okay, so yours looks to be faster in this.
Yeah, in the previous scene it was closer. Yeah. Somehow in this scene, it seems the 3D VCAche
and this was more intense. Because also the frame rate dropped versus the first scene.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that somehow the 3D VCAche makes a bigger difference in that scene than in the previous one. But still, the difference is not too big.
It's nice how the different scenes are glued together.
Yeah. And it still seems as if my FPS is a little bit more steady than yours. Like what we also saw in Cyberpunk. Yours fluctuate a little bit more.
So this probably also has to do with the how do you say that, low FPS?
The 1% lows, yeah.
So I probably have more.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And your frame times are also slightly higher than mine again.
Oh yeah, no, well, slightly, quite a lot.
Yeah, that's a bigger difference than the frame rate actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't walk that way, because he's going to eat you.
McKellen also says in chat, lower frame time, yeah. So also the 3D cache seems to help a bit with the frame times. And then we still get the cat having dinner scene, right?
Okay, now it will walk through the tunnel. So I'm going to check if we see the same behavior.
If we now look at the yellow number, then you're actually not that far behind, because I'm also a little bit ahead in the benchmark.
Okay, that's what I saw. It was when you walked through it, it becomes transparent when you go around the corner.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, but here it was transparency,
Yeah.
and when we in the 1080p, it was transparent pixelated.
Yeah.
So it didn't really apply transparency, but it put holes in the textures.
Yeah.
So a different kind of transparency. And that's
A
probably
bit like a wall hack. In,
yeah.
And now it looks pretty good. Time for the cooking scene.
Getting hungry. Mainly because of the bread, not because of the beans.
It is seen. I do see the CPU power consumption go up a bit, but also the frame rates were a little bit higher. When they go towards like 80, I saw a peak in the power draw of the CPU again. Okay, I moved from excellent to good.
Same here. 51.84. Let's say 51.
56.63.
Yeah. So it's 5-7%.
No, 10 approximately.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
But we had, what was it, 55.60 in the previous one?
Yeah.
So it dropped down to 10. So yes, in 4K high settings, it still makes a bit of a difference, but not nearly as much as with the lower settings.
Yeah.
Okay. That was it for the benchmarks. Eric, shall we do one last winner for the giveaway?
Yeah, we can go over, let me see.
For our last game code for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, yeah, here we are. Okay, draw winners. So that's over here. Draw.
Our last winner for today
is
Vibu. Congratulations, or Vibu, I don't know how to pronounce it, but congratulations, you also won a game code for Monster Hunter Wilds. So congrats again to all the winners. Keep an eye on your mailbox. We'll email the codes to you in the coming days with some instructions on how to redeem them. Like mentioned before, next week we will not have a live stream, but in 2 weeks' time we will. Mankit will be here to talk about our new smart monitor, which also supports Google TV. That's something that we both use a lot.
Yeah.
We use it on our televisions, on our Chromecast actually.
Works great.
Yeah, works very good actually. Yeah. And now we also have a monitor with this functionality. So make sure to tune in 2 weeks' time. Also on Wednesday, same time. Hope to see you then.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching today.
Without smoke.
Without smoke.
Yeah.
Or at least protection against the smoke.
Yeah, we survived. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day. Bye-bye. Take care.